So off the top, Cam, I tried to off the top of my head. I did not prepare that open, but those are the two games that came to mind most recently in looking at roughly, I believe, 2015 against Clemson, just prior to the Mark Richt first season in 2016, which obviously led to the ouster of Al Golden. And then that Virginia closed out the Orange Bowl at like 30-0, something like that. I remember it was a shutout.
48.
38-0.
48.
That range. And then my mind wandered back to the late 90s and the
48.
8-0.
48.
Yeah, it was. Okay.
Yeah, it was a lot. And I sat there in the upper deck in the West End zone, and I told my friends I wanted to leave at halftime. And they said, if you want to, you can walk home or catch a cab or something. But we're going to stay. It's the last game of the Orange Bowl. And we sat there and watched Virginia just run up and down the field at will, literally. Yeah, it was bad.
1 week ago, we sat here not feeling great about this team, but understanding that they just played their most significant game of the season, considering I know Florida's Florida and the rivalry and the national scope and the national spotlight of an exclusive game in week 0. But in regards to the practicality of the standings, they just played the team that's expected to be the chief competitor for the division. They won that game head-to-head to get within a game. Virginia not being a great team, you could forecast a loss for them, and then Miami runs the table and catches them to win the division. It all just seemed to be, okay, not everything's fixed, but everything has hope. There is hope once again, and then thud against Georgia Tech, the apparent worst team in the conference.
Until they played us.
How do you where does this rank among low points?
I mean, this is low. This is very low. I mean, the season's over. Let's just be quite frank about things. To get to 6-6 would be that would be yeoman's work at this point, to be perfectly honest. And I mean, you can't even look at games that you would have penciled in as wins or etched in stone like I had with Georgia Tech. I mean, there's no way that they're going to beat Miami. I mean, not this year, not when they're rebuilding. And then we find a way to lose that game. So if you're looking at Louisville is, they're playing pinball on the scoreboard. Now, they can't really stop anybody, but they put up points and yards. And your boy Tutu Atwell, who, I agree with the decision that Miami said he's too small. He's not too slow to play here, though. And that man is fast. And he's eating up space from punt return and slot and, jet sweeps and things that, gives you pause now. So you think, okay, games that, oh, yeah, whatever, this is going to be a win for sure. I don't see any for sure wins on this schedule anymore. And I think that includes FIU, and that will probably, they're going to try to grind that game, try to find a way, just like, Virginia Tech, like Georgia Tech, even Virginia, we won that game, but that wasn't clearly decisive. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, it's just, I've already been wrong on my season prediction for a few weeks now because I said 10-2 and we lost our third game 3 weeks ago. So I know that I was wrong on that, but I mean, even spinning that from just a prognostication into, actual reality, losing to this Georgia Tech team this year that way is atrocious. There's no two ways about it. You come out on the first drive. I saw what they were trying to do. I said, look, just, backed up against your own goal line, run the ball and punt it. Don't run a screen, run the ball. They tried to run a screen. Everybody's like, oh, Navon Donaldson missed a block. No, that didn't come from his gap, the blitz or the line pressure. But to give up a touchdown on that, and, I tried something different last week. I tried, Miami's going to win. So I'm going to start writing the good, the bad, and the ugly during the game live so I can be done right at the gun, boom, done everything. That happened on the first drive, and I sat back, and I said, oh, no. And, it's one of those things where every team's foundation building win is coming against Miami. I think it was David Hale from ESPN tweeted out a stat. There are 4 teams in the history of college football that have lost 5 games in a season in which they were tied or leading in the fourth quarter. Miami has accomplished that feat 4 times so far this year. Florida State has accomplished that same feat 3 times already this year, leading or being tied in the fourth quarter and finding a way to lose. While people are saying, oh, that one of those was the year that Notre Dame went 4-8. P.S. by the way, they beat us in that year, 2016. And then they went to the college football playoff in 2017 after we blew them out in that November game, or the high point of the program in the last whatever time, when Miami finally ascended to being number 2 in the country. I don't see it like that. I don't see this as that. I think that there are lots of teams that find ways to lose games that they should win, and that is who they are. I do not see this as a harbinger for future success that people are trying to say, oh, well, we're close, and it's not horseshoes or hand grenades. I don't care. This is a results-driven industry. Sports, you play to win a game. I don't want to hear about being close. I don't want to hear that. This roster is too loaded. This schedule is too soft to be finding ways to lose games. And when we find ways to lose games, I don't care if we lose them by 1 possession or whatever. When you find ways to lose games, that's not positive. And I'm not crazy. And I feel like the last sane person on earth, with everybody saying something different, and then does that by definition make me crazy because I feel that I'm the last sane person on earth? We're losing games that we should be winning. We're finding ways to lose. Georgia Tech scored on offense 1 time. You go punt safe and let the guy run by the guy, and everybody is saying, watch the fake, watch the fake, watch the fake. Georgia Tech heard us call, watch the fake. They said, what are we going to do? Run the fake anyway, because they can't stop it. How is that positive? You missed 29 tackles, and I swear to you, it was more than that. I swear, because there were guys who were out of position, and I'm going to count those as missed tackles too. And honestly, I think that the number that Pro Football Focus came up with at 29 was low on what actually occurred on the field. I believe that we missed more tackles than that. And then you play a walk-on linebacker, 31 snaps, in high leverage situations in a game that matters with your season on the line, instead of anybody. Patrick Joyner, Sam Brooks. Well, Sam Brooks is the backup at Mike linebacker. Shaq Quarterman's been here for 4 years. He knows every single play call. Move him over to Will, put Sam Brooks at Mike. But no. You go to a walk-on for 31 snaps. And they say, oh, he graded out well. He did okay. Absolutely not. He's another guy. He got eaten up by so many blocks. He didn't know how to get off of a block. So you want to count? I mean, okay, he missed only 2 tackles. We're going to talk about the other 8 tackles that he wasn't even positioned for because he was out of position, or he decided to try to run the long way around a block like he's running around one of those hula hoop on the grounds for, in a practice drill or something. What are we talking about? This is not positive. There's nothing positive here. What are we like? This is not positive. This is a very, very low point. Uncle Lou, Miami's the worst team in the ACC. I would love to disagree with you, but I can't because we lost to Georgia Tech at home.